that reels them into that show. When you listen to that show, you get to hear my beautiful voice, and Daniel's also beautiful voice discuss this great wrestling product.
It's true. It's true. It's true. I really enjoyed the show. If you missed it last week, go check it out. It was WWF Survivor Series 2001 versus TNA Genesis 06. It was a really good show. Really lots of weirdness and lots of good Attitude Era stuff, which is kind of rare, sadly. But yeah, man, let's get into today's episode. Before we get into the comparison, though, let's talk about the news, the current events, what's happening in the biz today. Wex, what are our headlines, man?
All right, so the first headline that I got written down in my little bullet points is Xavier Woods is having some financial disputes with WWE over Up, Up, Down, Down. He's kind of holding out right now, and all the creators and then even like the media people within WWE are like on his side. They're kind of holding out because he kind of is getting screwed.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was his thing. It's always been his thing. I don't see how they could possibly even take ownership of it. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's because basically Vince McMahon is saying that and his G4 is part of his downside guarantee, which is straight fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's definitely not the case at all.
Just like they tried to absorb the cameos and the Twitches and all that stuff. They just want all the fucking money for themselves. They just fired 14 people and they have some of their highest earnings of all time. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's pretty lame. But Raw this week got its third lowest rating ever.
Yeah.
Like in the history of the show. And that's not good news for WWE. It's not like AEW's doing like way better in ratings, but they're a new product.
Yeah. Agreed.
They're still a growing and here's a good thing that we can get into because it's going to be kind of changing the format of our show a little bit. NXT announced they're going to be doing a War Games, but it's not called TakeOver. It's just NXT War Games.
Yes,
and we're actually going to be putting that. Yeah.
Yeah, at least it's on a pay-per-view though, or like on a streaming service. It's not just like a TV special. You know what I mean? Like it's an actual quote unquote pay-per-view or whatever. You know?
Yeah. And well, since that is actually a real show, we're going to be actually comparing that to the all-time classic here in about 2 weeks, I guess.
2 or 3 weeks, yeah.
2 or 3 weeks. Vengeance 2001 WWF. If you guys know, that is like woo, an all-time banger. So we'll see if the current product can, dominate the nostalgia product, which is going to be a pretty tough task if you've seen Vengeance 2001.
It is a tall challenge for sure. Any other news and headlines there, bud?
Couple things. Best Friends are now in Chaos. We got some Okada teases maybe for Dynamite. And Dynamite has actually said they're going to update. Well, Dynamite didn't say. Tony Khan said that Dynamite's going to update its look and feel when they transfer to TBS.
Okay.
Maybe a little facelift, something a little bit new. But he also said if the fans say it sucks, they'll go back to the old shit.
Yeah.
Which is smart.
Yeah.
No other really big things in the news as of right now before we started recording this. Only other things Keith Lee did not come up with Bearcat. He said that he did not want to use that.
Yeah.
That was in the news. That's obvious, but that's probably some Bruce Pritchard type shit because someone mentioned on his podcast he was actually mentioning Bearcat like a few years ago, like multiple times. So makes sense. Old Brucey boy.
Oh, Brucey. Anything else in the headline world?
I don't know. Full Gear coming up this Saturday. That's the only other thing, and man, it's gonna be a good one.